Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Was Too Advanced for His Age. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was the direct descendant of the sage that I posted over on Anime King, and enjoy that guys. And I also posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto was betrayed by Hagoromo over on Anime King 3, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, as Naruto was going towards the academy, he was on his last year at the academy as he saw the place on fire. But he knew who was behind it, as he was Kurenai. As she saw Naruto as a bit of test subject, as she always tested her Genjutsu against him. As Naruto always broke the first one, but this time, she had a second one behind it, surprising him. As she broke him out of it, UJ was there as well. They had become good friends over the time, more than rivals. As they talked for a bit before Naruto heading inside, as he was the only person with light enough affinity in the entire academy, as he saw Kakashi, as he wondered where has he been, as Kakashi told him that he has been on a lot of missions lately, and being an envoy, the schedule was quite hectic, as he will be Naruto teacher for the rest of the year. So with that, Kakashi taught Naruto how to manipulate the lightning, and he also gave Naruto a jutsu that he must master at the end of the year for him to pass the exam. The year fly passed really quickly, as Naruto has been doing constant training and getting stronger. When the time finally came, as Minato was a bit upset, Kakashi taught Naruto a B rank ninjutsu, yes, as everyone else got a C rank to pass the test, but Kakashi gave Naruto a B rank. They were all surprised and Naruto called lightning from the heavens. It shocked everyone to their core, as lightning came down in chains and slammed into the earth, destroying it, surprising all of them. As they all were super happy that he passed, everyone congratulating him. The time passed as Uncle wanted to be Naruto Sensei. As Team 5, Uncle became the Sensei of Team 5, with Tenten and Ninja on his team, as they went to the academy, as it was told to them that Uncle would be their Sensei. As Uncle told them to meet her at the Dango Shock, which they did. So with that, they headed off. As she spoke to them, what she was saying sounded like pretty much torture. As they were all dismissed until tomorrow, Yuji and Kurenai then came back from their mission. As they met up with Uncle, Yuji was hoping to see Naruto here, as Uncle started to tease her about her little boyfriend, as both of them become rather close, and Uncle has been teasing her ever since. The next morning, Naruto was ecstatic as he was happy to be there, as he couldn't wait until he started to go on missions to finally prove himself, to show that he was not just the son of the Hokage, but he was a powerful ninja as well. As he arrived 1 hour early, Uncle decided to start things up with a spar between the two of them to see where he was exactly at. So yeah guys, that was basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across to the PlayStation for yourself. So what is to begin this new episode? Uncle had a smile on her face as Naruto currently blocked her attack. She was smiling to see how good he was with close combat as the both of them were on the field. She leaped back and launched kunais towards him, as Naruto used his knives, its trench knife that were covered in wind chakra, to slice the kunais in half. As he turned and rushed towards Uncle, as he used his right knife to slash at Uncle, Uncle brought her kunai forward, only for it to be split in half. Descent tests his earth skills. Uncle jumped back as she went through hand sign. Earth style, Earth Dragon projectiles, as a mud dragon appeared and started to fire mud balls towards Naruto. As Naruto went through hand sign, wind release, wind barrier, he said. Since Uncle never got to saw Naruto wind techniques, when she saw two typhoons suddenly appear Spinning side by side, she was mesmerized. As a mud ball started to approach, the wind spin and disintegrate it before it could touch Naruto. As Anko smirked, "Well, let's see how you work against fire since he can't use wind to block it." As she did not notice that Naruto's air current was becoming wilder and wilder, seeing that the two typhoons were still beside him. As the typhoon started to spin faster, transformed the wind that was blowing calmly now into a gust. Anko had to squint her eyes as she had problems seeing because the wind was blowing rapidly around her. Naruto smirked as he stopped it in an instant. Anko had at least 2 seconds to catch her breath, but Naruto was already upon her, as he was firing off his other jutsu that he learned in the book. The wind style, Great Wind Breakthrough. With more chakra, it could get advanced towards another level, turning into a B rank other than C rank, which Naruto finished channeling chakra for now. Wind style, Enhance, Breakthrough, as he released a huge windstorm that ripped through the earth, tearing up chunks along with trees. Anko's eyes widened, and because of a strong wind she couldn't move. Resorting to a low-level technique to escape, she quickly made her way out of there before she was slammed by that wind technique. After the wind finally died down, Naruto went to one knee. Such technique, he never used it before, and he kind of overdid it a bit, as he looked at his hand before flexing it. Anko for her part looked at the destruction as she couldn't believe it. Anko made her way over as she told him to sit. She placed a hand on his shoulder as she sit right next to him. The test was over. Naruto could be a close to mid-range fighter, a long range if need be. All three of them had knowledge on different fighting styles, so she could change a combat strategy for them to switch it up on the opponents whenever necessary. A few minutes later, Neji and Tenten arrived as Anko tested them as well. They weren't so developed in elemental ninjutsu, so she was able to test them rather quickly than Naruto, and they didn't cause such large destruction. Anko will train Tenten in fire and Neji in earth, as she had knowledge about both techniques. Okay Team 5, now that I've seen your abilities, we can begin our training and start taking C ranks. Seeing that today was about test of skills, we will begin in elemental teaching for both of you. Naruto, seeing that you lost a huge part of your chakra doing that jutsu, rest a bit, we'll wake you up when the time comes, said Anko, as she wouldn't want him to be out here falling down because of chakra exhaustion. Time skip, the next day at the Hokage's office. After Team 5 met up at the Hokage's office, they went to fetch their first C-rank mission, as Naruto saw his father sitting at the desk, looking so professional. Team 5, reporting for duty Hokage-sama, said Anko. Minato smiled. Oh, Team 5. Alright, let's see here, he said. Right, here we go. Anko, bandit camp, northwest of here. 20 miles. There's been some illegal action running down there, and we need to clear up the bandit camp, by order, or to capture the chief and dispose of the rest of them. As Naruto remained completely serious, as his father was talking in such a professional tone, which he never heard before. It was different from when he talked to him as a serious father tone. It was just completely different, as Naruto saw the man differently now. But he had to remain perfectly calm and present himself as a true Konoha shinobi. Yes, Hokage-sama. Okay kids, pack for a 1-week travel from here to our rendezvous point. Meet me in a half an hour at the west gate. Dismissed, said Anko, as they all nodded and headed off. Half an hour later, Neji was the first one to arrive. Anko, Naruto and Tenten had not arrived yet. After a moment, the rest of the group started to file in, as Anko looked towards them. So, are all of you packed and ready? Yes, Anko Sensei, they said. Anko smiled. Alright then, let's get going. And with that, they took towards the trees. Time skip, as Team 7 was progressing in the land of fire, as Naruto was glancing around, as seeing that his father was Hokage, and the whole problem with the hidden stone, he wasn't allowed to pass the village gates. So this all seemed new to him as he glanced around, taking in his surroundings, also making sure to keep an eye out, just in case. As he turned to see Neji, Neji looked excited as he was, as he had a small smile. Take care of bandits, that was the first fighting mission they had, and they were already feeling adrenaline. Tenten was focused on her path. Unlike Neji or Naruto, she wasn't really excited. Anko for her part was evaluating her team in her mind, and she looked at them. Since they were able to follow her pace, she applauded them in speed and stamina. Naruto was the exception, of course, since he had the gravity seal activated and he was still able to keep up. Neji and Tenten were good as well. Anko felt proud of all of them. They all had good fighting skills from what she can see. As she then glanced towards Naruto, she saw him glancing around every few seconds, as she knew why. The hidden stone was constantly out to kill him or try to kidnap him for what his father did in the last Great Shinobi War. She really hoped they would not run into any stone shinobis, or at least not any strong ones, until Naruto improved his fighting skills. It was good that he knew some wide area effective techniques, so he could use that to escape, but she had to look out for the others as well. So the hidden stone could literally be targeting them at any time, so they had to be prepared and ready. Not to mention that Kumo wants his hands on the Byakugan, which means that Neji will be a target as well. As she remembered, talked to Neji's father and the Hokage, as they had filled her in on everything, as she knew about the attacks that went on Naruto, and despite their talks with Kumo, there had been conflictions of them trying to kidnap the Hyuga heir. That is why Anko had to make sure that the two boys were protected, and she had to watch over Tenten as well, because if they're coming after them, they will be coming after the entire group just to take them down. At the moment, Neji had his Byakugan scanning, just in case, as he didn't keep down for too long though to waste chakra. Anko had a serious talk with them, as Naruto knew that he was a target of the hidden stone, and that Kumo wanted his eyes. As Anko promised them that she would train each and every one of them to the bone to make sure they were ready for any future conflict. After some time traveling, nighttime came. As the team went to camp near the lake, Neji and Naruto went out to grab some fish for dinner, as Anko and Tenten stayed to fix the tents. Tenten was still wondering about Naruto and Neji being targets for other villages. She was on one side wanting to test her skills, to show that anyone can be strong even if it was your gender. Any woman can be as strong as a man, but what if they had to face a group of Jonins? They could get captured, tortured, for information and even killed. Anko seen that as she went over to talk to the girl. She had to reassure her that she would protect her no matter what. But that was just more insurance that they had to train to get stronger. Meanwhile, the two boys were making their way back, as it took them a while, but when they finally came back, they had a whole bucket of fish. As Naruto was the one that catched them and threw them out of the water, and Neji pinned them to a tree with kunai. As Anko smiled at creativity, it was a new mean to fly fishing. Okay guys, Tenten and I will share one tent, and you two will share the other. Naruto, you will be the first to keep watch. Oh, okay, said Naruto. She saw him acting a bit strange as she didn't know why. What's wrong, she asked. Would you mind if I stay a bit later and watch, said Naruto. Why? Anko didn't remember about Yujiro saying that he liked to watch a full moon. Well, alright, but we'll switch same way, after you're done doing what you're doing. Naruto looked at her. She just gave him a small smile. Well, Yujiro was her friend. As everyone went to their tents, after they were finished eating, Naruto went up into a tree, as he could see the campsite from here, and everything, and also the moon. Once again he got mesmerized by the sight. Meanwhile, with Yujiro, she was currently sleeping on top of her house. As she was exhausted, she was training with her father on top of a lake nearby her house. She was currently learning how to adapt her fighting style on top of the water, calm like the surface and wild underneath. Tomorrow, she'll be on a mission with her old team, and she was excited to catch up with them. Aoba was with his new team, but Genma and Kurnai would come with her on a B-rank mission towards the grass territory to capture a missing nin that left Konoha 3 years ago from attacking a fellow Konoha nin and almost killed him. But no, she was asleep peacefully and dreaming just like everyone else, as she ended up falling asleep up here after glancing towards the moon, remembering that a certain person, a certain blonde, liked to watch it as well. As she was currently having a dream, Yujiro was jumping from rooftop to rooftop when a blonde blur suddenly passed by her. Without saying anything, he reached for his twin knives and he attacked her. Not one to lose, she attacked him back before she fired a water blast towards him as he leaped away. He then went through Hansa and fired an electric current towards her. She always felt strange fighting him, and she was always at peace at the same moment and happy. After she escaped the lightning attack, he rushed towards her. Without any knife, his fist heading towards her face. Not one to refuse a challenge, she put her sword in her back and went into defensive taijutsu. Because of the speed that he was coming at, she had to defend herself against a punch. But because of gravity, she was on the edge as he knocked her over. She didn't even realize she was so close as she fell, but she didn't fall far. Was she in a house or something? She wondered. As Naruto landed right on top of her, she blinked in confusion. Naruto was older. His hair was long, his eyes looked more serene and blue. Two bangs framing down the side of his face, now coming down towards her because he was on top of her. Even his entire body seemed bigger, as his muscular arms were right beside the side of her head. She couldn't move as she stared at his eyes. As he leaned down, she was surprised. She couldn't even find herself to talk as he kissed her. She kissed him back. as she found herself relishing in the feeling. Yujiro jumped up as she glanced around. She was on the roof. She remembered that dream immediately. What the hell? Naruto kissing me? She reached up and touched her lips like he actually kissed her. And all of a sudden she felt quite strange. Meanwhile, as Anko had woken up, it was time for Naruto to get some sleep. As she saw him in the tree, he seemed so relaxed and calm. She would expect this coming from a shinobi, someone that let their problems go and just bask in a moment of bliss, not from a 10-year-old, as he just seemed entranced by the moon. She shifted her foot. Immediately his eyes snapped towards her as he calmed himself down. Uncle gave him a small smile before leaping up in the branch as well. She wanted to see what was so entrancing about the moon. Sure, it was beautiful and all, but not so entrancing. Naruto, tell me, what do you see in it? She asked. The full moon for me is wonderful in its own way, he said. It illuminates just as sunlight, and is 10 times more peaceful than the sun. When I look at it, I seem to just forget about everything else and focus on it. I know that you would say I didn't see so much in life already, but yeah, I know, but since I was 4 to 5 years old, I was facing the full moon. It is something that always just got me sitting and basking in its beauty. And each time I see it, the more attached I get. Imagine this scenery, Uncle Sensei. The moonlight illuminating the forest and the wind gently, picking up the leaf and slowly placing them down. For the moonlight just entranced the area, showing off the beautiful sight. As Uncle saw the moon reflect on his blue eyes, and she became completely lost. How could a boy be like this? As he seemed like something that was just so gentle, something so calm and beautiful. As Uncle felt that presence around him, what she was feeling was a constant wind chakra that was coming from Naruto's body, giving her a warm, wonderful feeling. Such a sight, she said. But tell me, when the full moon is up, don't you sleep at all? Of course I sleep, he said, but only after I accomplish something. As Uncle wondered what he was talking about, as he closed his eyes, she felt the air current increase. As he was releasing more and more wind chakra, a small typhoon started to form around his body. Uncle was feeling a bit of deja vu from their spar earlier back. She wondered if Naruto could control the literal wind because of his affinity. She read up about something about natural affinities, but she never got to see it in person. She would have to ask Hokage about this. As Naruto was controlling the entire air current, seeing that the current was strong, Naruto's body wasn't even moving the slightest. His hair wasn't ruffling or anything. Little did she know the air currents were traveling through Naruto's coils, as it made him at complete peace as he was inside the typhoon. But his body was completely calm. Naruto, you're going a bit overboard, Uncle said, as she could barely stand beside him anymore. Naruto released a breath as he calmed down the air current. There, now I'm satisfied. I'm going to sleep, Uncle Sensei. See you in the morning, okay? As he leaped from a tree, Uncle watched as he descended down towards the ground, rather slowly. It was like he was floating down to the ground, just like the leaf that he described. As his foot touched down with barely a sound, as he made his way towards the tent. Quite the guy you are, Naruto. I can see what Yujiro saw in you, even if she doesn't realize she has feelings for you yet. Now turning into guardian mode, Uncle glanced around as she rested up against a tree, as she was going to protect her team. Naruto stayed out a bit longer than usual, so morning came rather quickly. As Uncle started to prepare breakfast for her team, Neji was the first that week and said good morning to his sensei. Naruto was second and joined him for breakfast. Tenten, being a heavy sleeper, came last and sat with them. Okay, now they were all clean and ready. We will clean and wipe our presents have ever been here, said Uncle. After that, we'll head towards our target. Few miles from here, there's a team of bandits that has taken over a neighboring town. We don't know if any missing nin or regular shinobis there, but if they appear, leave it to me. You guys will take care of the bandits, okay? After a quick nod, they all start to pack up things. As they reached the entrance point, after moving through the morning, they saw the village entrance, with 3 bandits guarding it. They had completely taken over. Seeing as a test for her team, she advised them to take them out quietly. After nodding 3 blurs, Neji took care of the bandit to that strike to a pressure point, numbing the guy. As Naruto appeared and applied enough electric volt to render the guy useless on the ground, unconscious. Tenten used a sand bond and put hers in a near dead state as he fell down as well. She would applaud them after the mission as she came in and gave them a signal to move, which they did. As she came up on a small hut, she signaled Tenten and Neji to take care of them with 2 bandits inside. With another Senbon and a Jayugen strike, the two bandits were knocked out. As the group jumped inside, Anko was having a bad omen, as she felt like someone dangerous was here, but she didn't know where. They went towards the next cabin as they put them down, as Naruto was the one that went inside, asking the bandit as he applied lightning chakra after covering the man's mouth. As the man's eyes went wide before he collapsed, too much electricity flooded his body as he passed out. The group then split up, Naruto and Neji, Anko and Tenten, as they attacked from different directions to corner them. As there was a massive dome with bandits, a lot of them, Anko went through Hansign, journeying the Black Darkness technique as she cast again Jutsu inside. The bandits' senses were over as everything went dark for them. They couldn't see crap, as they were quickly taken down by Team 5, as Team 5 took them down, and with that they made their way. They were about to step outside and Anko suddenly stopped as kunais embedded right into the wall. Evasive maneuvers did Anko, as they saw. The guys didn't have a headband. Anko assumed that they were just some tougher bandits that knew how to fight. Anko sensei, they're using a genjutsu on their foreheads, said Naruto. Release! As Naruto remembered all of Kurenai lesson, all of the little tricks, all of the ways to spot genjutsu. Everyone was shocked when they saw the headband, hidden stone. Oh look brother, they saw through our genjutsu, one of them said. They had been the one camping out here, trying to find any weaknesses, trying to find any opening within Konoha, anything they could exploit, even kill off few shinobis that passed through the fire country. But they got the best one. It's the yellow flash sun, the man said, as he glanced towards Naruto. We would be heroes going back with that boy. I'm sure that they will welcome us back if we bring him. As the other one smiles, Anko recognized these two. They were missing names. They were known as the Boulder Brothers, known worldwide for their devastating teamwork attack. As she saw Naruto place his hand together, release, as he dropped off his gravity seal. Since Naruto had lightning affinity, he would be most suited for fighting against hidden stone ninjas. So, let's capture our prize, brother, said the other one as he got ready to attack. As Naruto narrowed his eyes, studying who should be his partner for this. Tenten was good with weapons, but he needed someone fast for this. He knew that lightning won against earth, but he was not sure of victory just because he has a element superiority. Neji, I need you against them. They seem to attack in pairs, so here's my plan. As soon as they attack, I'll use a lightning attack to disable them. After that, you use a Giant Strike to take them down. Neji nodded as he shifted his foot into his Giant stance. Let's go, brother, screamed the first as they hardened their body and charged forward. As Naruto flipped through hand sign, lightning release. Shock paralysis jutsu, said Naruto, as he leaped over them. He touched both of them on their shoulders before landing. Both of them felt the pulse swing through their system. Neji moved forward as he struck one of them, but the other one seemed stronger as he twisted his body hard in his hand. He slammed it into Neji's stomach as Neji burst right through the wall. Given that the two boys moved off in front of her, Anko was not close enough as she rushed off with tremendous speed to stop him as the man came bearing down on Neji. But something split right through his forehead as the man dropped down to the ground. Anko turned as she saw Naruto there, his hand extended, his eyes widened a bit. He had tossed his strange knife that was coated in wind chakra and went straight through the man's head. That was his first kill on his first mission. Anko saw him withdraw a bit on himself, as she knew this happened to everyone with their first kill. Naruto walked over pretty silent as he picked up his knife slowly, as there was a bit of blood on it. Because of the heat of the battle and wanted to save Neji, he didn't even know that that was going to happen, as his hands started to tremble in fear. Despite everything, he was still young and having his first kill. Sure, he didn't like the stone ninjas and their revenge on his father. The man was going to kill Neji, so he killed him. But still, taking a life was easy, and even though he heard from Aoba and Hisashi, as the both of them told him when they first experienced that, it also troubled him. Naruto could understand the burden of taking someone's life, and it felt strange. Anko checked over Neji as a few minor ribs were only broken. Giving him a minor patch-up, she lifted Neji as the both of them turned towards Naruto. Naruto, let's go. The mission is complete, Anko said in a soft tone, as she moved the group along. Before, she executed the other one that Neji left behind, that he had paralyzed with Jayugen strike, and took their head for the reward. They had to stop at another camp. The trip was really silent as Anko took Naruto outside, away from the two. As Anko saw Naruto was still holding onto the knife, he hadn't put it away. Naruto, don't be like this, she said. You did great. You saved Neji from certain death. Trust me, the first kill is tough to swallow, But as a ninja, there will be certain things you have to do, and killing is one of them. As she tried to calm him down, but he still looked horrified. I know that, Uncle Sensei, but it just kept on playing over and over in my mind. I didn't know that it was going to kill him. I know, you were in the moment. You were trying to stop him from hurting your friend Neji. As Uncle saw him shaking, as tears started to fall, she understood. Every ninja go through this. This is the obstacle that every shinobi has to go through. Everyone will be here for you, but you're the only one that can fully go through this. Now, I want you to try and get some rest tomorrow. I want us to reach Konoha by nightfall. Uncle stopped when she heard something. Huh? Thank you, said Naruto. He didn't forget about what happened, but her words made him cope with it a bit better. You don't need to thank me, Naruto. Despite you thinking that you did something wrong, I assure you, you saved your teammate, and your instincts are what make you a good ninja. As she gave him another small smile, get some rest, she said. The next day when the sun appeared, Team 5 was already jumping through the trees fast, as they wanted to reach Konoha faster. As Uncle wondered if what she said to Naruto was enough. She knew that he has to be the one to overcome this, but she wanted to be there to help him. As Neji was a bit annoyed about his broken ribs, the guy got him right in his side. As Neji glanced towards Naruto, he wanted to thank him for saving his life, but he remembered the look on Naruto's face when he killed that man, and he decided to just leave him be for the moment. He remembered his father telling him about this feeling and what he went through as well, as he just hoped that Naruto can cope and go through it. And Neji was also cursing himself for not being too fast. That last guy, he had hardened a part of his body. He got electrocuted a bit, but it did not completely slow him down for Neji to strike him. But if he was faster, he could have done the job and taken out both of them. Thinking for her part was thinking about Naruto's quick movements. She wasn't even thinking of doing anything at the moment. She was just worried about her teammate. Time skip as the group made their way back. Inside the Hokage's office, Minato was surprised to hear that the Boulder brothers were there and that they attacked Naruto with the intent of kidnapping him and go back to Hidden Stone as heroes. Minato heard that Naruto killed one of them in order to save Neji's life as he sighed. He was afraid of something like that happening so soon. Naruto was a talented shinobi, but he was still 10 years old. Despite him being that advanced when it comes to other things, he was still a kid. As he sorted out everything, but Naruto had headed off home. As he vanished in a small whirlwind, he doesn't want to be alone for the moment. As Minato dismissed the rest of the team. A few minutes later, Yujiro, Kurenai, and Genma appeared, as he handed over the scroll with the captured missing in. As they were leaving, Yujiro spotted Uncle as they came over, as she told him about the first mission, and the condition that Naruto was in right now. Yujiro quickly excused herself, as she went to look for him. It took a while, but she eventually found him, sitting on top of the Hokage's head on the monument, as Naruto saw the look on his father's face. That was a look when he knew that Naruto had to work something out on his own. It was just like when he knew that Naruto had to work the techniques and learn things on his own. As Naruto knew that he had to work this out, as his father had told him about this before. Every ninja had to go through this. As he knew that he did it, protecting Neji, but it caught him off guard because he never expected it to actually happen. He just wanted to stop the guy, but he saw him bearing down on Neji and Uncle moving forward. The only thing he could do was throw his knife. The knife was clean, but Naruto could still see the blood dripping, as he remembered the scene once again. Yujiro knew about the place that Naruto go when you, want to just relax and calm down. Especially at nights when the full moon could be seen on full view up here. Despite he should be home, so she knew as she made her way towards the monument. There you are, Naruto-kun. Uncle told me all about it. How are you feeling? She said, as she sat down beside him. I can see his blood drenching my knife, said Naruto. I killed him in cold blood. She saw his breathing getting quick. She placed a hand on his shoulder, ordered for him to turn and hug her. As she never saw him like this before. He was always the one that showed strength, despite his age. But she knew that he must be going through a lot. As she hugged him back, she was having this strange feeling while hugging him. As Naruto, for his part, was calming down a bit as he hugged her. Thanks, Yujiro-chan, he whispered. I needed that. Naruto-kun, you don't need to thank me, as I'm sure that you would do the same for me if you were there with my first kill. Ayoba-sensei taught me the necessary path of a true shinobi, and after a few days, I was back on the right path. You just need to rest a bit and realize that you did in fact save your teammate's life. Now come on, let's take you home. We'll walk together. As after reaching home, he thanked her once again. She kneeled and she gave him a kiss on the cheek, as she told him that he didn't need to thank her and to be strong, leaving him with a small blush on his face. Once reaching home, as Minato had stopped Kushina, as Minato wanted Naruto to understand that what he did does not make him a bad person. Naruto was always the one to think and figure things out on his own. He wanted Naruto to see that he did not do anything wrong. So he stopped Kushina, as he saw that Naruto wanted to be alone right now just to think. And also, the boy was tired. Going up to his room, Naruto ended up falling asleep, as he needed to cope with this. The next morning, as Naruto woke up, Naruto decided to work on the lightning release, Thunderbolt Cannon Jutsu that his father gave him. As Minato was currently sitting down, going over a scroll as he saw Naruto. To his surprise, his son looked even more determined than before. As Naruto came up to him, "Dad, teach me shape manipulation," he said. Minato knew this was coming, but this early. "Okay son," said Minato, "I'll teach you shape manipulation, but keep in mind in order to manipulate chakra, you need proficient chakra control, at least, if not higher, depending on which technique you want to use it with. Now, I believe you got team practice with Uncle. When you come back, we'll start on your training." Naruto nodded as he made his way. "Wait a minute, Naruto," said Minato. "From here on out, your ninjutsu training will be with me. We will revise all the jutsu you know as well and improve them. And we'll fight in a taijutsu ninjutsu battle every now and then." Naruto nodded. "Whatever you can throw at me, Dad, I'll be able to handle it. Just you wait." "See ya," he said as he vanished in a tornado. As a big smile came on Minato's face. This was what he wanted, as he knew that his boy was a strong one, and he was going to use that and motivate himself even more. That made Minato smile, loving how his son was advancing. Time skip. 2 years later, as Naruto woke up, as he had went through a lot, his training ritual was tripled. As Minato said that they need to be at Genin for at least 2 years before entering Chunin exams, so Naruto and his team were still Genins, as he has grown in the last 2 years, now being the same height as Yujiro, who entered the Anvu program under Kakashi's wing. Speaking of Yujiro, her dreams about Naruto had stopped. Well, until last week. This settled the fact that she really had some feelings for the blonde, as she had a nosebleed, thinking about the Naruto in her dreams that seemed much older, the one that was literally touching her all over. Seeing that the both of them kept on bothering her and teasing her about it, she finally admitted to them. The both of them were just glad that she finally admitted. They were surprised how much he has grown in just 2 years, as he lost all that baby fat. Well, perhaps it was because of all the training. He even had a six-pack now, and his muscles start to show. As Naruto had a 9x gravity seal on, he had physical training with Anko, taijutsu, stamina, speed, accuracy, stealth, agility. Anko worked him to the bone, as his stamina only grew with time, making him even a bigger stamina freak than before. Regarding ninjutsu, he got chakra manipulation in 4 months, as he could make the lightning ball attack, and he also increased his lightning release, lightning strike jutsu, up to a point where he could develop a taijutsu style to fight with it. With wind style, he was able to learn his first A-rank wind jutsu, called wind style, fierce hurricane jutsu, creating one hell of a hurricane that surrounded him, and even sending towards the opponent, but it caused a lot of chakra. In regards to Yujiro, Naruto was happy that she made it in Anfu. She wanted to surpass her father, and she was getting closer. And Naruto was a bit sad because he didn't get to see her so much, seeing that junior Anfus were always sent towards the border for patrol. So he didn't have much time to spend with her sparring, or even just talking. On occasions, when she had time, they had dinner just to catch up for the lost time, as she kept on teasing him to no end, saying that this was their little date, as she enjoyed their little date, always making him blush. At the moment, Naruto was changing his new wardrobe. Black Anvu pants, his mesh shirt, and a grey shirt over that, with everything strapped to him, as he went to the kitchen, only to stop to see his parents kissing. Since Naruto was on missions a lot of time, the both of them had a lot more time to spend with each other. Kushina had some big news. Some really big news. Seeing that Naruto has been going on missions so much lately, she haven't gotten the time to tell him anything yet. Yes, she was pregnant. He was gonna be a big brother, as she's been pregnant for a while now, but he's just ever on missions. And if he's not on missions, he's always training, always doing something else. Naruto wait, she said, as she would be the one giving the news. Kushina smiled at her baby boy when he stopped. He was growing so much, and already so tall. Naruto, I have some big news, she said. What is it, Mom? Said Naruto. As Naruto narrowed his eyes, his mother was holding her belly, like she was protecting something. Naruto-kun, I'm pregnant. You're both have a little sister, and me and your father decided to call her Miseo. Miseo Namikaze. Isn't that great? Kushina thought that he might be a bit jealous, since he was the one that grew up with them, and he was always a little baby, and now, well, she didn't know, because he didn't say anything. Are you serious, Mom? As a big smile spread on his face. That's wonderful news, he said. Now, I'll have a little sister who can look up to me. She released a sigh of relief, as Kushina smiled at him as he chuckled a bit. As he told her he hoped Miseo was as beautiful as her, as that made her blush a bit, as she hugged her baby boy, as Naruto made sure not to squeeze too tight. After saying goodbye, Naruto left the compound, as his sensei had some news to give them, as Naruto was thinking about how it would be to have a little sister to play with her, as he was smiling at the thought to be a big brother to protect his little sister. As Naruto landed on a building, a smile came on his face. He surely missed this. As Naruto turned to see Yujiro there, she had surely grown. As Naruto looked at all the curves over her body, as his eyes roamed over her, as she had on her cat Onfu mask. It's been a while, Naruto-kun, she said, as she said in a rather seductive tone to tease him. But after all this time, Naruto wasn't one to be output that easily. Hello there, Yujiro-chan. That uniform you're wearing is quite appealing. It fits you in all the right places. She removed her mask slowly as she batted her eyes at him, as a small blush came on his face. The both of them had to go off, seeing that she was on her way to meet up with Kakashi, and Naruto was on his way to meet up with his team, as they sent each other a small look, before they went off in a different direction. When Naruto met up with his team, as Anko informed them that the Chunin exam will be taking place, and this will be a whole different exam, seeing that Hokage was going to change things a bit, as she gave them necessary papers. It was going to begin in 2 weeks' time, as he should appear at the academy, room 301. Time skip. Itachi was furious at the moment, as he was furious with everything his entire clan, as his father was still going along with his delusional ways, thinking that the Sharingan is the only thing that will make people powerful. Little did Itachi know that Fukaku had discovered a way to obtain the Mangekyo Sharingan. The way to gain those eyes is by killing someone precious to you, someone in your family. Time skip. 2 days after Team 5 got nominated for Chunin exams, they started training like crazy. They circulated between sparring and different fighting styles, and team fighting styles as well. Right now, Anko and Tenten are watching the 2 males of the team, as Naruto flashed through a hand sign, wind style, wind sword jutsu, as he fired a wind sword towards Neji. Neji knew that the rotation would be useless against his technique. Earth style. Wall barrier. Neji created a reinforced wall as the jutsu slammed and cut into it, but didn't pierce to the other side. He then lowered the wall as both of them flashed forward. Hits started to exchange on the field, creating a small boom in the air as Neji danced and showed the Hyuga signature taijutsu as he flipped under the attacks. Neji has come a long way in the Hyugen since he graduated the academy. Keep training with his father, he was getting stronger, faster and more skilled and agile. I'm sorry, Naruto, said Neji, but you're at my field of divination. As he got into his stance to give Naruto one of the most famous techniques of the Hyuga, the 64 palm, as he learned it 4 months ago from his father, and knew Naruto was going to get his points close. But Neji really underestimated Naruto's speed to go through hand signs, as he did them like a bullet, speeding through them so quickly Neji didn't even reach him before he was done. Lightning release, electric, magnetic pulse. Naruto shot his arms forward. Neji's eyes went wide as he had to leap away so he wouldn't be electrocuted. Neji flipped through hand signs the moment he landed on the ground. Earth style, stone lodging, destruction jutsu, said Neji. Neji slammed his hand on the ground brick as rocks were catapulted towards Naruto. Wind release, body flicker technique, said Naruto as he vanished. As Naruto flashed away and appeared distance with a smirk on his face, Uncle called the fight off. They had been going at it for a while now, but the both of them didn't land any hit on one another that was too damaging. They have been evading and throwing high-level techniques all around, and still they block and they dodge. In taijutsu they were tied, as each attack was always ready for another attack to take the blow, and none of them really used genjutsu, as Naruto just learned how to dispel it. Moving on to the next fight as Tenten came out. She tossed 2 shurikens towards Naruto. Shari shuriken jutsu, she said, as she multiplied them into 20. Naruto pulled out his trench knife as he fueled chakra into them and started to twist. He sliced shurikens into half and dodging out of the ones that came too fast. He then put away the trench knife as he went through hand sign, lightning release, Shock paralysis jutsu as he shot forward at tremendous speed. Tenten was unable to keep up as he hit her right in the stomach, paralyzing her. Tenten cursed as she bit her lip, sending adrenaline through her body. Finally, temporarily dispel Naruto technique as she flipped through hands and gathered chakra inside of her lungs. Fire style. Dragon fire projectile, she said. Naruto quickly replaces it with a log as it combusts. He appeared on her side and created 4 clones to initiate his taijutsu combo attack as Naruto knocked her straight in the air. But he didn't apply so much pressure as he knocked her to the ground as she landed and she fell unconscious. As Anko wasn't angry about that because Tenten didn't want to be treated any different because she was a girl. She wanted the same treatment as she wanted the same hard training. As Naruto came over to check on her, she was unconscious, but she was smiling. As he knew what the reason why she was smiling, Tenten didn't like to feel inferior just because she was a girl. But still, Tenten was unconscious and Anko knew that Naruto went a bit too far, seeing that he didn't have to add that last kick in. And seeing that Tenten wouldn't know. Naruto, while such combat was very effective, you beat your teammate until she was unconscious. I'm going to punish you. Neji, any thoughts? As Neji smirked, as Naruto looked at him, sellout. Uncle Sensei, why not let Naruto carry Tenten to the hospital while we're chasing him with kunais and shurikens? Just to make him move faster, you know? Uncle smiled. Traitorous bastard, said Naruto. Naruto deactivated the seals as he grabbed Tenten and used Wind Sunshine to get the hell out of there. As Neji and Uncle sighed, they lost a chance to give him a bit of torture. Alright Neji, since you would get to fight Tenten, I will be your opponent now. But before that, I want to teach you a trump card in the Chunin exams. I'll teach you one of the strongest Earth technique I know, Earth style, Dragon Projectile Jutsu. This is a higher B rank jutsu, so be careful when using it, it takes a lot of chakra. Meanwhile, with Naruto, as Naruto brought Tenten to her house, she wasn't exactly sick or bruised, just unconscious. She just needs some rest. Meanwhile, a certain Mass Anvo was watching her favorite blonde, and she felt a bit jealous seeing him carry that girl. What the hell was she thinking? Ever since they became friends, Kurona and Anko has kept on badgering her about being Naruto's girlfriend. And now 2 years later, despite him being young in age, he showed experience and maturity that someone 6 years older than him would show. She was remembering their frequent spars and how much time he took care of her wounds. As she remembered in one of their spars when their eyes locked, and Kakashi had noticed something when, well, they were watching Naruto training. Flashback, Yujiro, now a part of Anbu for 5 months, arrived at HQ as she was eager for tough missions to practice. While inside HQ, she would either participate in a mission or she would train as she had on the 7 X-Gravity Seal. As she was already considered one of the best Kinjutsu user in the force. After all, her father was the best and her style was almost adding up to his. She was a force to be recognized, and not to mention she was under the command of Kakashi, being only rival to Itachi Uchiha, the Uchiha prodigy. Since there wasn't any mission, she headed to one of the training grounds to practice a new water jutsu her father taught her. Water style, water collision jutsu. It was created by the second Hokage, who was considered to be the best water user in the history of all countries. Just as she was about to do it, Kakashi appeared. As he told her to conserve her chakra, they had a mission to deal with. The mission was simple. They were informed by some of the spies that belonged to the Hokage that the Hidden Stone would try another attack on Naruto, but this time it would be low-level Jonin, rather than Jonins. So their job was to protect him when he wasn't training or going on a mission with his team. When they arrived, Kakashi saw the boy there, as he was just sitting down, but with his Sharingan he was able to see, as Naruto was expelling lightning chakra from his body in small voltage, as he had a smirk on his face. As Kakashi knew about his new style, the lightning release, lightning strike, that he created with adding a lightning chakra into his fists and his feet. Yujiro wondered what he was doing, and suddenly, there was an electric pulse that rushed through his body like he was obeying his will, as it went through his arms and went down to his stomach and went through his legs. As he then got to his feet and started to do a taijutsu combo, but the fists and kicks were embedded with electric pulses. Kakashi explained to her about Naruto creation and channel lightning chakra, something similar to Tsunade Super Punch, with her adding the right amount of force and chakra at the tip, as Naruto was doing the same. She was once again shocked and amazed by the things that Naruto did. He was just 11 years old, and harnessing lightning to the point of being able to expel like this, that was just incredible. As they watched Naruto go through hand signs, Kakashi watched lightning lit up on his hands, Yujiro turned towards Kakashi, as it looked similar to his lightning blade. As Naruto raised his hand and tried to fire off the lightning release, lightning thunderball technique. As he charged it, it became rather unstable as he sent lightning everywhere. After a while, he extinguished the technique. At the moment, he didn't have a clue how to fully work on the technique. Yujiro, for her part, couldn't take her eyes off the blonde. The blonde always managed to surprise her by this time by such a long leap, as she saw him working on a technique as deadly as her senpai assassination technique. As Kakashi glanced towards her to see her focused on Naruto completely, but he said nothing. In the flashback, as she was going to tease him a bit, and to see why he was carrying a girl, she went towards his location. As she arrived, "Hello, Naruto-kun," she said. As Naruto glanced towards her, "So tell me," she said, "why are you carrying this girl?" He wasn't even surprised that she was there. "Well, I kind of knocked her out in a spar, and Uncle Sensei told me to take her to the hospital, but she's just unconscious. So I'm gonna bring her to her house." Naruto couldn't tell what she was thinking because of the mask. The only thing he saw was her eyes. Well, those were barely visible. "Sure. So you wouldn't mind if I go with you then?" she asked. "Of course not," said Naruto. "After that, lunch is on me. What do you say?" As that threw away her suspicions, as Naruto didn't really, seem to be getting at what she was thinking. "Okay, but I get to choose a restaurant." He nodded as he smiled. As he arrived at the house, as her father wanted to knock Naruto out for what he did, as Naruto had to apologize and explain. Father knew that Tenten didn't like to be treated special just because she was a girl, as she liked the rough treatment. She liked to be on equal footing with the boys. She didn't want them to be holding back. As Yujiro found this amusing, seeing Naruto apologize so much. She picked the dango place, as Naruto knew that she would pick it. She always does. As they started to talk about the missions, missions that she could tell him about. As she also told him about the time that she stole her senpai's book and put the blame on the Hokage, saying that he was the one that told her to steal it, seeing that Kakashi was being a bit too obsessive with that book. "So Naruto-kun, about the lightning jutsu, the cannonball jutsu, did you manage to learn the last part?" "Almost," said Naruto. "I got shape manipulation down, and I'm very close. Although I was thinking about using a long time technique I learned a long time ago. The wind style, wind breeze jutsu to enhance the lightning and toss the ball. But it will take a time to charge and I know the enemy won't stay still. So I have to figure out a way." She looked at him. She was shocked. Was he saying what she think he was saying? "Naruto-kun, are you attempting to use two elements to advance the jutsu?" He nodded. "You know that is a kind of bloodline limit, right?" she said. "It's not possible for you to do it." "Oh really?" said Naruto as he smirked. "Well, I never said about using two of them same time. I was thinking about shaping the lightning ball, then using the wind jutsu." "But now, you think I can't do it," said Naruto. "Well, you just watch and see. I'll get that down as soon as possible," said the smirk. "Well, if you manage to complete that, I will be truly amazed," she said, as she gave him a smile. "Well, I have to be back at HQ now. See you later, Naruto-kun," she said. As the two separated, as Naruto was thinking on how to control the lightning with his wind technique, harness the lightning then add his wind technique in afterwards. He's gonna prove Yujiro wrong, because he's gonna get it down, and need to learn it before June exams. Yeah, he will learn it no matter what. But guys, if you end subscribe right here, for next part, this is what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was the Direct Descendant of the Sage. And also, I posted a new episode of What If Naruto Was Betrayed by Hagoromo, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy, guys, over in Anime King 3. All links will be down in the description for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.